Next step is I want to get caught up with this one. I want to be able to make them simultaneously. That way, like today it's been very rainy and humid. And with that being the case, I wanted to make sure that if you're staining leather, and it's humid, the color will come out differently than what it does if you're staining leather and it's a dry day. Which, you know, just makes it that much easier. It's not easier, that's a lie. So what I'm going to do is I had some actual, like, some scrap leather over yonder.
You're a scrap leather.
You're a scrap leather. Oh my god, there's a bug on me. Okay. It was just a moth. And you can see where I drew out kind of the pattern on, again, I'm so sorry for the terrible lighting, but that's what we get for the sun setting. And for not keeping regular business hours when making cosplays. So yeah, you can see that whenever this template is not perfectly symmetrical, so it's very important whenever you do one, it's down one way, and then when you do the other, you actually flip it. That way the pieces are mirror imaged. That's so important in sewing and in leather and basically any kind of pattern making, because, you know, otherwise you come out with two left shoes, you know, and it's leather shears. Unlike my leather corset tutorial, this is not going to be as much of a, it's not going to be as much of an in-depth tutorial so much as just showing you what on earth is going on, like, the whole way. And then I will be actually making supplementary tutorials teaching you specific techniques, like the fur making. And if you guys see me do something and you're like, how do you do that? Then please send me a message and let me know. And then that way I can make a tutorial of that for you. So I'm going to angle this camera down so you can see what's happening. Angle down, camera. Shit. Okay. Can you see what's going on? I'm gonna cut off some scrap leather. Save all of this stuff. Like, I am going to teach you some hoarder tendencies, but that's perfect for testing out colors on, like, what dyes you want to use, and, like, just test swatches, and if you want to see how some beveling looks, or just, you never know, and it's nice to have it. So now I'm doing my best to cut on the lines of this thinner leather. It's a very thin, like maybe 2 millimeter, like ultra thin, ultra pliable, soft leather. I had debated about doing a like an oil tanned or a garment leather, but so many of them are like dead set on, like, they're dyed this color, and then you're stuck with that. And I was like, I would rather invest in vegetable tanned, but again, that's because I already have an arsenal of dyes at my disposal, which it was an investment to try to build up, but now that I have, I mean, almost all the colors. I don't have I don't have any more oxblood, the Phoebing's oxblood, which is like a really good red. Like, it's a nice red. I don't have any more of that, but basically other than that, like, I have all of the colors of the EcoFlow Professional dye, because you never know when somebody's going to be like, oh, I need this, but in hot pink, and I don't want to have to be like, okay, just let me go get hot pink dye an hour away, you know, or order it. It's like, okay, I've got some of that on hand. And sometimes you can really mix the colors together and really brighten up your reds or your purples. And I don't know, I like having a full palette at my disposal. And I have yet to have a bottle go bad on me. So, I'm not really worried about them expiring. You just have to make sure that they don't freeze, which that's important. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I was thinking about using a garment leather, but I decided to go with vegetable tan because that way all of my scrap would still be full fully able to be utilized in all the different ways that I use it. Because you can't test out a color swatch on, you know, garment leather. And I didn't know if I'd wanted to be doing any tooling on this. So again, that's something that you can't really tool and emboss garment leather. So we're here. It's all cut out. Put all my scrap over yonder. And now I am going to use my corner rounder. I need more organization space. Actually, I need to be not such a little piggy. Constantly junking up my organization space. There we go. I'm gonna bring my chair up. Yeah, it totally threw me off. I got a big old bottle of this stuff. They totally changed the packaging, which I'm one of the shoppers that's like, this is changed, it's different, I don't like it.
What fresh hell is this?
What fresh hell is this? That's right. Okay, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And we have, I'm gonna put that away. But yeah, see my little mantis friend. What's up, little fella? I just don't know what's wrong with him. Looks like he's losing his shit though. Poor feller. Probably hungry or thirsty or tired of being in my house. Before I go too much further, I'm going to tidy up my space, and I wanted to show you guys the experimentation. Yeah, I already used up a whole bottle. These things are like $8, y'all. Nail polish is expensive, but it's pretty. Also, this is how I get the last little bits out of my stain, is I just put the bottle in a canister that'll keep it from tipping over all over the place. And then just leave it sit. So I'll use up the rest of that stain here shortly. But I went through, and I don't know if you're going to be able to catch the colors. This is just plain vegetable tanned. This is how I keep track of what's going on. It's pearl only. One side has 2 coats, one side has 1 coat. And that's how I kept track. And it has a really nice sheen to it, but it wasn't quite the color I was looking for. Ooh, look at that sleeve I found. Isn't that pretty? I like nature. I like turtles. I'm just gonna stick that up there so I can look at it. And then I went through, but yeah, little, this is just the tan antique gel. This is the color that I decided to go with for the base underlayer. But I was test swatching it and holding it up to the rabbit pelts that we're using, that are currently buried. But that's what so much of this was about, was matching the opalite and matching the rabbit pelts that I got, which they're all kind of like a strawberry blonde, speckled with like a little bit of darker browns and grays. Well, where did that sample swatch go? Swatch. Hey Randy, do you know what I did with my sample swatch that I handed? Me neither. Oh, I found a pen. But yeah, so here's a rabbit pelt. This is the color I'm going with, and then this is the tan that I decided to pair it with. So I'm really pleased with that. Okay, well, I lost the swatch, but it was, I decided on doing a tan mixed with pearlescent for the, if this is tan antique gel, this is tan antique mixed with pearlescent, but I'm going to do the border in briar brown, and before, like, I'm going to do the pearlescent, but whenever I do that, I'm going to have tape down to protect the edge so that it doesn't get all pearly looking, because that's very important, because in the sample that I had done that I promptly lost, but the pearlescent showed through. And then, do you see that? I'm gonna have runes etched into the border, and they're filled in with that light blue nail polish. And I tried a bunch of different ways, and I wrote all the different ways that I had tried. That way I know that this one was I cut it with the swivel knife, and then I went through and I opened it up with my stylus, and then I did 2 coats of this breezy blue nail polish to fill it in, and that wiped off real nice. Moving on. We have a cutting board. We have a hammer. We have a really big clamp. That's handy. Though not right now. Oof. We've got a binder clip. I've got a bunch of junk, apparently. There it is. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Don't live like this. My little corner rounder tool that was worth its weight in gold. I'm going to go through and I'm going to round off my corners here. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. Do you see? This is my cosplay. Do you see? If y'all haven't seen it, go check out the movie Red Dragon. Dude sets a person on fire and wheels them down a hill in a wheelchair. And that was just like one part of it. Really not that vitally important of a part, but oops. Well, gravity's just getting the better of me today. And that's just, it's doing that nice little bit to just round off the edges, the corners. This leather is thin enough that I do not worry about skiving it. I don't worry about that at all on this. I mean, it's like, it's so thin. I'll actually show you. How thin is it? Well, I'll show you how thin it is. That if you go through to skive it, just slowly try to tidy up as I work. Is that we were so busy prepping for Dragon Con that we didn't really get anything, like I just made messes of everything. But this is me. I'm trying to go through yeah, going through it doesn't even grab the leather, this edge beveler that I have. So I don't worry about it. Okay, so that's taken care of. I'm gonna set that back aside. Please pardon me for a moment.